Hello and welcome to 50Fabulous Knits. My name is Pia. I am a Danish knitter coming to you from Dubai again. So this week's episode is going to be kind of short because I've been knitting on very few projects, but that also of course means that I have some finished objects to show you. First, I want to talk about what I'm wearing because this is a pattern that I am going to release hopefully at the same time as this episode goes online. This is a rather old pattern of mine, a couple of years ago, 2.5 years, something like that. It's called the Everyday Vest, or in Danish, Hverdagsvesten. And it is just this very plain, very simple vest. Doesn't have very deep armholes because I wanted to be able to use it both with a t-shirt and with a real, more blousey shirt under it. The only detail on it is here. You can see where you decrease for the armhole, and then those decreases goes into a small cable detail here. And that, of course, you can omit that if you don't want to bother with the cables, but it's super simple. It is only 2 stitches that switch place. It's not really cabling at all. It's just a nice little detail, I think. I have made some modifications to the pattern, and I have also expanded the size range. So it now covers a relatively, I would say, large size range. It comes in sizes from a 34-inch bust up to a 57-inch bust. And it is actually designed to be worn with practically no ease, maybe up to 1 inch of ease, because a pattern with no sleeves will always have appear looser on the body than a pattern that has sleeves on it. So I think it looks really nice without any ease in it. As I said, I'm going to be releasing the pattern, if not today, then very, very soon. And I can only hope, dream that you will be as kind to this pattern as you've been to my other patterns. Thank you so much for all the interest. Thank you for all the beautiful photos that I see online of you knitting one of my patterns. I get so happy every time. I love to see it. I love to see what you're doing with the patterns, your own little tweaks. And thank you so, so much. So as I said, this week I have some finished objects. Last week I spoke about these different categories of knitting, that you have beach knitting, you have poolside knitting, you have hotel room knitting and plain knitting and whatnot. Today I discovered a new category, test knitting, which is not the test knitting that you know. No. It's the knitting that you do while you wait for your COVID test, because that's what I've been doing today. So I upgraded my beach knitting to test knitting, and I finished my second palazzo sock. So now there's 2. Yay! I get to wear these. When I saw them, I was like, they need to be blocked. This one was blocked like very gently, but yeah. So what do? You go online, you order some sock bloggers. So those will be waiting for me when I get to Texas, and then I can block both of these so that you can see how beautiful they are. They're made with Judy's Magic Heel pattern, and it just fits my foot very, very well. But yeah, they do look prettier after blocking. Aside from the heel, it's just a very plain sock. I think I cast on, did I cast on 64 stitches? I cast on too many stitches for my size because I wanted it to fit with the pattern repeat from the Palazzo sweater, which is what I put up here. Just 12 rounds of the Palazzo lace pattern. And then just a plain, simple sock, Judy's Magic heel, and a rounded toe, kitchenette together here. Really nice socks. I hope that it's not too warm when we get to Texas because I really want to wear these. I also finished my poolside knitting, my summer top, this one that I talked a little about last time. It was just this very light, simple summer top with some short sleeves, relatively fitted. The reason why I'm not wearing it is obviously, as per usual, it's still damp. Ends are not woven in. I don't know why I even call it a finished object. I just couldn't wait to show you guys. So please forgive me for airing my wet laundry or whatever we should call this. It is, I already now I can see that this is going to be a favorite for me. It is so light, it's so easy, it fits me very, very well. I made it so that it's a little longer in the back than it is in front. I actually like this fit for my spring and summer knits, that they're relatively fitted around the bust, and then with some extra ease around the waistline and a little longer in the back. So yeah, it's a lot like other tops that I have made. What makes this really special is the stitch pattern here. Let me see if it will show on camera. It's little crosses. I made these little crosses and I put all the increases for the yoke inside these little crosses so they don't show. Yeah. Wow, it was blowing out. But I'm really loving this. I can't wait to wear it. I knitted a very open gauge. It's a sport weight merino that I knit on needles that are size 4 millimeters, which I think is probably a US 5 or 6. I think it's a 6. So it's a large needle for a sport weight, and it has given this very open and light gauge. I have 20 stitches to 10 centimeters or 4 inches. So that's quite an open gauge for a sport weight. Yeah, but yeah, really loving it. It's my own hand-dyed yarn. Again, I cannot help myself. I can't stop shopping my own shop. But yeah, this is the colorway called Goldilocks or Gullac on my sport weight merino superwash base. And as always, did not alternate skeins, but there you go. I was lucky again. I only used 200 grams of sport weight for this one. I actually brought 300 grams, so I have a lot of leftovers. I'm gonna show you later what I'm gonna be doing with those because of course I have a plan, right? I'm gonna write up the pattern for this. It's gonna take a while, and the next week is probably, I'm just gonna be so happy that I don't see myself doing any work at all. But I am gonna write up a pattern. I am gonna send it out for test knitting, and I hope to publish this pattern relatively soon, because to me this is spring and summer. This is not a winter knit. Of course you could add long sleeves, but yeah, I would say spring summer thing. So I'm gonna try to be fast. It knits up real quickly, as you can see. So there. The other thing that I've been knitting on is the huge sweater that I'm knitting for Peter and for our 2 grandsons, because of course they need matching sweaters, the 3 of them. He's a big guy. Now, all the stitches are scrunched up on the needle. I was hoping that I would get to the point where I could separate the sleeves, because then I would be able to actually show you what goes on in the sweater, but no. It is a simple top-down raglan with a fold-over neckband, and you see that the raglan increases just here. What makes the yoke special is the Estonian braid that comes on every 6th round. That round, the Estonian braid, it takes me an hour. I'm not kidding, it takes me an hour to get through that. But I really love the texture that it's adding, the interest. And I also love that it helps to carry the fabric. Again, I mentioned it last time, he is a big guy, 2 meters tall. The door you see there in the background, you can barely fit through it. So there's gonna be a lot of fabric before I finish the sweater, and I like to think that these Estonian braids are gonna help to keep everything up, keep it structured and nice and tidy. What I'm gonna do is, when I separate for the sleeves, I'm gonna change color into a slightly darker gray. I'm probably gonna do a slip stitch pattern to make it like not a abrupt shift of colors, but more like not a fade, but a little more easygoing. Yeah, hopefully I will have separated for the sleeves. Every time we sit in the hotel room, if I pick up some other knitting that this, he's like, thought you were gonna knit on my sweater, weren't you? Aren't you afraid that you're gonna lose interest if you don't knit on it? So I'm plucking away on this beast of a sweater, but I think it's really gonna be beautiful, and I can't wait to see all my little boys and my big boy wearing matching sweaters. So yeah, I am using my Haya Sharps, probably my favorite needles. I like the tips. I like these tips. They're not pointy, but they're sharp. They're so easy to work with. I'm not necessarily a fan of the cable. I think it's a little too fluffy for my size, my taste, but the tips, they make up for everything. So the yarn I'm using is Drops yarn again. It's the one that is called Lima. It's mixture between Peruvian Highland wool and some alpaca, which means that it is sturdy. It can take some beatings, and it should. So it's also warm and light and really nice. It's a little bit rustic. It's not like super soft to the skin, but that doesn't bother him. And you know, the little ones, they'll have a t-shirt underneath, it'll be fine. If they find it too scratchy, I'm gonna give it a lanolin bath. I hope I can buy lanolin in the US. In Denmark, you can buy it in the pharmacy, and you just place your wool in it, let it soak for a while, and it'll be much softer when it comes up. Also, the lanolin will help keep your knits clean because it's like self-cleaning. So yeah, if they find it scratchy, that's what I'll do, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. Thanks to the new Ravelry group, the one that we're using for the Knit and Be Kind Knitalong, which is still going on, I am on Ravelry almost every day. And when I'm there, it would be silly not to just poke around a little, just for fun. So the other day, I was doing just that. And I revisited Caitlin Hunter's Feel the Burn, and I just couldn't resist. I think I want to fit in when I come to the US. This is a very American sweater, right? I'm gonna fit right in Texas when I'm wearing Feel the Burn sweater. So I decided to knit that. Of course, I didn't bring yarn for it. But I had brought some other yarns that I was actually gonna knit one of my own designs with, but this, don't you think that would be a great Feel the Burn? I think so. These two are actually the leftovers from the summer top. So yeah, you can see there's way more than 100 grams left. These two are one of my own hand-dyed yarns in the colorway Classets. This is Tivoli, the colorway that is also one of the prizes in the Knitalong. This one is the leftovers from the Mitsurina that I knit last year. And this is some drops alpaca. And actually, Feel the Burn only calls for 4 colors. So I would be set with all these very easy-going, matchy-matchy colors. But I thought that one would look really great. Just little bits, just little splashes of that one. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I did not get far. I mean, yeah. I only just cast on, but I did put it on wooden needles because obviously this is going to be my plain knitting. I thought it was going to be my birds of a feather shawl, but no, this is so much more fun. So I put it on these cubics. These are size 4. Again, I'm pretty sure it's US size 6. The yarn that I have is not the right yarn for the pattern. The pattern calls for a worsted weight, I think. These are all sport weight. But I'm doing what I've done so many times before. I look at how many stitches do I have to 10 centimeters and how big do I want my finished garment to be. With these two numbers, I can then figure out how many stitches should the pattern have on the widest place. And then I just look at the sizes and I can see, okay, this is the size I'm gonna knit. I had to go up, I think 2, maybe even 3, no, probably 2 sizes from what I would normally choose, but I think it's gonna work out. I've done that many times in the past and it usually works out just fine. So fingers crossed that this will work as well. And actually I think I'm gonna get more wear out of the sweater. It is a short sleeve sweater, so I'm thinking of short sleeve sweater in worsted weight. I'm probably not gonna get as much wear out of that as I am with one in sport weight. Fortunately, I don't get hot flashes anymore. Or in Danish, we don't knock on wood. We have to knock under the table. So that was it. superstitious, crazy, but you don't take any chances with hot flashes, right? So I don't get hot flashes anymore, but I do feel like my temperature has just gone up a notch. I'm a little warmer than I used to be. So I think a sport weight sweater is much better for me than worsted weight. And that was it for the knitting content this week. Short, hopefully sweet. I haven't been working on a lot of different projects, so not so much to talk about. Just gonna talk a little bit about life here in Dubai. Just like last week, it's been quiet. We've been keeping to ourselves. We went out one evening with one of Peter's friends, went to his house for a dinner, and we were like really keeping a lot of distance, a lot of cleaning the hands, so we should be fine. This morning we went to the hospital to have our COVID tests so that we are hopefully ready to fly out on Sunday. I really hope those tests come back clean. They did nasal swabs. I've never done that before. Took 3 tries before I could even control myself enough to sit still. But yeah, I mean, I survived. I'm here to tell about it. But it's definitely not my favorite. The least that the universe could do for me is to let it come back negative. I think inconclusive would be almost as terrible as positive, but no, I'm sure we'll be fine. Tomorrow is Friday, which is the party day down here. You have a lot of huge Friday brunches going on almost all of the big hotels. They will have a Friday brunch. Down here you can only get alcohol on the big international hotels, so it's not readily available, but on Fridays you have these brunches, and there's typically some champagne and some wine and some drinks being served, cocktails. I would say that if things were not what they are right now, we'd probably go out for a Friday brunch because they're a lot of fun, a lot of good food. But we just don't want to take the chance of being at a huge gathering like that. So we decided that tomorrow is going to be a beach day for us, just lounging on the beach all day, knitting away, listening to some good audiobooks and taking it easy, soaking up on the sun. And then, yeah, Saturday we'll be packing because Sunday morning really early we're gonna go to the airport, and then we're just a quick little 17-hour flight away from Houston. From there it's what, 3-4 hours drive up to Dallas, and then we're there. Then we're actually there, and that is going to be so nice. One of you, Linda, if you're watching, hi and thank you. One of you lovely viewers told me about some local yarn shops in the Dallas area, and we agreed that we would meet up at one of them. I am so looking forward to that. That's gonna be a first for me. I have never been to one of the small local yarn shops in the US, so that's gonna be a first. I'm really looking forward to that. Looking forward to meeting one of you in person. That's gonna be so nice. I also have stuff waiting for me. I guess my room over there is filled to the brim with all the stuff that I ordered. But yeah, next episode, I am going to show you what I bought. I'm going to put it at the end of the episode because I do realize that some people don't want to hear about stash enhancements or acquisitions. So, but I'm going to show it because maybe it'll be fun for you guys to see what I am longing after, the yarn types that I can't get in Denmark. So anyway, I'm gonna end things now. I'm gonna go take off this one. I mean, who wears an alpaca vest in Dubai? This little humming that has been going on in the back is my aircon. I really hope you can forgive me for keeping it on for the episode. I would probably not have been able to wear this if it wasn't for the aircon. But I'm gonna end things now, and then I think I'm just gonna go for a small walk on the beach because the sun will soon be setting, and it's so beautiful to be down at the beach at sunset and just stroll along. Until next time, until Texas, take care, be well, happy knitting. I hope to see you all again soon.